Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Alright, so for this week's speed build, we're doing something very special because we're speed building a sequel to a successful little speed build that I did a couple of months back. Okay, so sometime in mid-2015, I did this little speed build for my get-together Let's Play, and little did I know that it was gonna be one of my most successful videos. I did not expect it to be so popular. That speed build is called the Newcrest Row Apartments. It's like the top 5 most watched videos on my channel, and I really didn't expect it to be that popular. So when I uploaded that video, it was originally intended to be the first part in a series of apartments that I was going to build for Newcrest. Now, it took me a really long time to come up with a good sequel that was appropriate for what was achieved by the first one, because it was really that was a huge achievement for me at the time. So I was very intimidated to come up with a sequel because I don't think it could ever live up to it. But you know what? For what it is, I'm very proud of what I came up with to follow up the Newcrest Row Apartment. So obviously, this speed build for this week is known as the Newcrest Row Apartment number 2. And I guess a couple of words to sum up the speed build I have for this one is graphic and bold. I am very excited actually to do something original. It's been a while since I've done something original. I think the last one I did was the Bohemian beach house, which was a couple of months ago. So gone are the reference images, gone are all the extensive research behind the scenes. I came into this not knowing what I was gonna make. The only inspiration was the original Newcrest Row Apartment, and I think this really shows my individual sense of style, that I feel like I've developed as an architect and as a simmer as well. And I'm really happy that I'm able to kind of make this with you guys as well, because I don't think a lot of you guys have been around for that long on my channel. So if you guys haven't seen any previous builds, or if you guys find it a little bit difficult to watch older builds because the quality might not be, equal to the content that I have on my channel, then I guess this is a good representation of my own personal individual style. So yes, okay. This, of course, in the vein of the previous Newcrest Row Apartment, is an urban home that occupies one half of the entire lot. So basically, there's 2 apartments in this lot, and the only one that we're gonna occupy is the one to the left if you're looking at it from the road. Basically, it's like, I don't know, the aesthetic of it is very similar to my other Newcrest builds, which, like I said, it's very graphic and it's very bold. I love using colors and I love using interesting shapes to kind of give character and dimension to the building. And I don't usually talk about my personal work as, an architectural student, but if you guys were to see my work, it would be very similar to this. I love playing with color. I'm the type of guy that wears the crazy colored button downs that has like the crazy patterns and stuff. Like, that's me. I wear neon green shorts, whatever. It's summer. Like, let's be real. Okay, so the red is kind of a tongue-in-cheek nod to the previous Newcrest Row Apartment. I used the exact same paint, and I also used it in a very similar way to kind of bring a little bit of color to the outside. One thing that I'm absolutely in love with that I did here, which I haven't done before, is actually place this checkered board pattern on the front facade using wall paint that we got from The Sims 4 Spa Day. Okay, so that paint has a bunch of different swatches, and if you play a little bit of it, if you play just a little bit, you can come up with some interesting shapes and some interesting forms as well. And I think that really brings a lot of personality to the exterior. Speaking of the exterior, I know that a lot of you guys might have mixed reactions to the exterior, especially considering that this home is intended to be placed side by side. Newcrest has a very interesting kind of sub-neighborhood where it has like 3 equally sized lots placed right next to each other, and for me that's the perfect place to build apartment rows because it really kind of, you know, it's ideal. It's an ideal location for those type of homes. So anyway, like I said, a lot of you guys might have mixed reactions to the exterior, but trust me, if you don't like the exterior, then that's okay. You can have an opinion, but I am advising you guys to wait a little bit until you see the interior because the interiors are insane. I'm so happy with what I did for the interior. I feel like I've outdone myself. Like, definitely, I feel like the exterior is just equal to the very first Newcrest Row apartment. Newcrest Row Apartment 1 and Newcrest Row Apartment 2, I feel like exterior-wise, they're both equal, but definitely interior-wise, number 2 is better than number 1. So yeah, like I said, number 1, was intended to be used for a Let's Play. However, this one was intended to be kind of a showpiece, actually. Think of it as a showcase apartment unit that you would look at if you're planning to purchase from a developer. Of course, they would have like the best furniture and stuff, and you can even purchase it as it is. The people who I envisioned using this apartment are like people who work in the entertainment industry because it has that attitude, you know, where it's very modern. It's a little bit out there, you know, it's a little bit like kooky, and it has a little bit of sense of humor in it as well. It has like some unexpected things to it, and of course it has a lot of edge as well, which I feel like gives it a lot of modernity. So anyway, I'm so happy to be working on the interiors right now. So anyway, if you guys don't have patience to sit through this 30-minute video, I advise you guys to go ahead and skip to the end of the video where I have the usual walkthrough so you can see the interior, because I am in love with the interior. I would live here. Like, I wish my condo flat would look like this, but I feel like I might have to be a billionaire to afford all the things that I placed here. So yeah, the interior has a split level living room, actually, which is what we're working on right now. And one thing that I used a lot is actually dramatic lighting, which I don't use that often in my Sims 4 builds. But if you guys go back a really, really long time, if we time travel a little bit, when I did speed builds on The Sims 3, I always loved doing dramatic lighting. But yeah, I was able to do it here because it has like a lot of modernity to it. The build has like that edge and that modernity where I could, you know, be a little bit edgy and take a little bit of a risk with the lighting. So as if you guys will notice that most of the interiors don't have like a flush light. Flush meaning like the whole interior space just has one kind of brightness of light. So there are corners that have brighter lights, and there are corners where it has a little bit of a dimmer light. So, you know, I feel like that gives it a little bit of variety. And I just love using the artwork actually in the game, in this speed build, because we have a lot of interesting modern pieces, which I really took the time and select carefully so that it would, you know, tell a lot about who was occupying the space. And yeah, like just really going into detail, a lot of detail with the interior. And this is a really special thing that I did with the interior actually. Underneath the stairs was kind of like a dead space. So I felt like bringing a little bit of life to it by literally bringing life to it by introducing some living outdoor plants. And there's going to be like some nice lighting effects over here with invisible lamps. These are called ambient lighting, and they can be unlocked using the BB Show Hidden Objects cheat. A great way to add lighting to your, you know, to your builds without, you know, actually having actual lights. So yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, this is gonna be so funny, but I came into this build expecting it to be absolutely easy. I felt like it was gonna be a piece of cake because the thing is, when you're doing something original as a speed build, you can do whatever you want. And I feel like that's more comfortable. But if you're doing something based off of a reference, which is what I've been doing recently, I've been doing a lot of Disney themed builds. I've been doing a lot of builds that, require me to study some actual reference material. So I didn't do that in this case because I went into this, just telling myself to be me. I feel like my new subscribers would really appreciate me, showcasing what I'm capable of as an independent designer. So little did I know that this build will take me a really, really long time. The entire footage that you guys are seeing right now took me about 3.5 hours to complete, and I did not edit anything out. Every item that you will see has been placed and is the way they are and is exactly where it's supposed to be in the video. And when you download this, every item is where it's supposed to be, okay? I didn't edit things out because I know that a lot of you guys would appreciate me keeping everything in. But, that means we got a 30-minute video, which is okay. It's fine. Gives me a lot of time to talk to you guys, actually. And so yes, this build took me much longer than I was initially expecting. I was like, okay, it's probably gonna take me an hour, 30 minutes and I'm done. But like when I started the build, I'm like, okay, I'm spending a lot of time on the exterior. And then when I got to the interior, I realized that holy crap, this is taking me a really, really long time. Time to take it seriously. And I just rolled with it. I feel like I have this standard for myself where I really just have to do my best, I could not bring myself to kind of take it easy for this one because I had so much fun. That's just it. I just had a lot of fun furnishing and doing the interiors and mixing and matching all these different furniture items and stuff. And I think the end result is actually pretty sublime. Like I said, I was expecting this to be like an hour-long build initially, but it took me 3 times as long as that initial assumption. In the end, it took me like 3 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so I really wanted to fit in a nice little bar area over here in the downstairs area, but I couldn't place it because I didn't have enough space to actually put an actual bar. So instead, I threw in that nice little drinks tray that came with Spa Day, so the Sims can still drink and fulfill their needs for the parties and stuff, because sometimes when you throw parties it will ask you to make drinks and stuff. So yeah, so the bottom part of it is actually a very party kind of space. Like this is where you would invite your guests for like a cocktail. Like I said, the people who live here probably work in the entertainment industry. So there's probably not going to be a lot of music anyway. It's just like, like cocktail parties, soirees, very like classy like that, if you guys watch like in the movies where they would just like wear black and white and just, talk about paintings and artworks and sculptures and things, that's the type of party that I envision taking place in this house. So, basically the ground level is actually pretty open plan. All the major entertainment areas like the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen are all in one single space. And by the way, living room is probably like my favorite room of the house. I got to use that gigantic TV that came with movie hangout stuff. And yes, I think the second you see the TV, you would immediately know who lives in this house. All right, so moving on to the first bedroom that we're going to be working on. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I totally struggled with this bedroom because, once again, I didn't find a good enough bed that was luxurious enough, but also was modern enough to kind of fit in the aesthetic that I wanted. So I just went with this type of bed for the entire build. There's 3 bedrooms in this build, and I used pretty much the same bed. The one bedroom that had like a single bed, it's has a single bed, but it has the same style. So the bedroom that we're working on right now is actually a guest bedroom, and it went with a very neutral kind of light bluish gray color. I don't know why. I felt like it really matched the bed that I chose. And that's just how I design things. The bed is the focal point of the bedroom. So, like the color palette that the bed has, it's so important because it informs the color palette of the rest of the room. I tried to introduce some really bright, saturated blue tones, as you guys can see here, as accents, but it just didn't work for me. I feel like this room has like a freshness to it that is great for a guest room. But the blue tones, I think, make it a little bit intense. And there's actually a psychology to that. Research has shown, and I learned this in my color rendering class when I was in first year of my college in architecture, that research shows that babies cry more in yellow rooms more than they do in cool color rooms. So green and blue are good colors for bedrooms. If you use red or yellow, then that's where the problem kind of begins for a little bit. So, I don't know. That's just like some color psychology and all that good stuff. You guys will also see that I used a lot of those paintings that came with Cool Kitchen stuff. I am in love with those paintings. The swatches and the designs that they came with are so modern and so edgy depending on which swatch you choose. I feel like it was very appropriate for this build. So you guys will be definitely seeing a lot of those. The bathrooms actually, all of them have a similar furniture to them, except for the master bathroom, which actually on the 3rd floor, it has an extra bathtub in addition to all the other bathroom equipment that we have. I don't know, it's really basic, I guess. And when it comes to bathrooms, it's a little bit modern, but I really didn't put a lot of effort on the bathrooms because I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. You know what? That's not fair to say because I did put a lot of time making the bathrooms look nice and stuff, but I don't know why. But I guess the one room in the house that I just really dislike to decorate is the bathroom. I don't know why. Maybe we just need more items to kind of inspire us a little bit to be creative. And okay, one thing that I kind of discovered that I grown a liking to doing while doing this build is actually placing curtains. Since this is a very modern build, I was able to incorporate some modern curtains on the floor to ceiling windows that we had, and they look great. And when I saw that they look great, I incorporated them in almost all the bedrooms and actually in almost all the rooms. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so we're roughly halfway through the end of the video, and I still haven't asked you guys a question. So to all of you guys who actually made it this far, then congratulations, because I can ask you something. Okay, this question is a little bit basic and generic, but it's really gonna help me kind of build up my channel, because you guys will know that I really do take criticism to heart, and I use your guys' opinions and constructive criticism to improve my channel. So I have a really simple question for you guys who keep watching my speed builds and stuff. Do you guys prefer me do contemporary builds, or do you guys prefer me watching themed builds? Those are two different things. I feel like I do both equally justice, like I don't specialize on anything in particular. Just, whatever I do it with a passion and with a heart. And, I think it really shows in the quality of my work. I sound like I am bragging about my stuff, but you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of my work. I'm so proud of each and everything that I put up for you guys. And, I love putting my name into it. So I think that's gonna be my question for you guys. Like, do you guys prefer me do themed builds, like Disney themed, or like, like historical themed builds, or do you guys prefer to watch, contemporary builds that I built originally from a design that I have? Feel free to let me know, and don't worry, you guys can choose either one, or you can choose both. Nothing wrong with that. I just want to know because, I really do take your guys' recommendations and criticisms and really roll with it to try to improve my channel and try to please you guys. I am such a people pleaser, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right. So basically, this is kind of a diva bedroom over here. The people who I envisioned who lives in this home has no kids of their own. They are a couple that works in the entertainment industry. And basically, since they don't have a child of their own, they kind of take it upon themselves to adopt a niece or a nephew who is fabulous. Because, let's be real. I don't want to assign any gender roles to my bedrooms. Because seriously, though, I love this bedroom. I want it for myself. Anyway, so yeah, they adopted one of their nieces or nephews, and they kind of, while their relative who's staying in that pink bedroom, while they're kind of working on their degree to become a pop star or a designer, they're staying with their aunt and uncle who works in the entertainment industry. It's a really simple thing, but I like kind of giving a little bit of backstory to whoever occupies the home, because it really shows in the little details that I throw a little bit of personality as to whom occupies the space, and kind of give it a little bit of personality and a touch of individuality. So you guys saw me throw in that nice little star mirror that has like the lights in it that looks like a diva. And also in one of the hallways, I threw in like a picture frame of a football, like a soccer team or something. Because football and soccer are two different things, apparently, depending on where you live. Anyway, let's not get into that. But, it tells you, the person who owns this is probably, an MLG or something. I don't know. Somebody famous, okay? And definitely the husband has a very strong masculine style. So even though that's generally the dominant style that we have for this home, you guys will see there is a touch of femininity to it. Like there's a lot of little things that really shows a wife's, touch to the decorations and through the artwork. And I think it really shows a good partnership and a good relationship between whoever lives here. And all that good stuff. So I'm getting too deep into this backstory for this home. You guys feel free to move anyone you want in this home. And also, if you want to add it a little bit more individuality, why not change all the red pieces on the outside and change it to a color that you like? I always wanted to say that. I'd love to see you guys change it to a color that you like, because it really does change the appeal of the building, if you make it pink or if you make it blue or if you make it green, then I feel like it really does change the personality of the building. And, if you guys are feeling up to it, go ahead and tweet me some pictures and I will gladly like them, and I'd love you for it. Okay. Definitely my favorite bedroom in the whole entire house is the master bedroom. I love this bedroom. It's so cozy. It's so artsy fartsy. I want it for myself. For once, I love the bed that I used in this bedroom, and I'm using this technique actually that I saw from, I'm not so sure who popularized this, but I saw this from Dutch Sims 4 Master. He uses these counter cabinets and puts them on either side of the bed, and then they can be the kind of bedside table. So there are ways to work around the lack of beds that we have for the game, but we really need more beds. We just really need more beds. The modern beds that we have in the game look so tacky and so retro. They're not even modern. There's this one bed that looks so retro. It looks like it's from the Jetsons home, and whoever thought that was a nice modern addition to the game is not, because it looks really retro. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, we need more sleek and simple items, because sometimes the Sims team overly designs their assets that it's very difficult to incorporate them in a more diverse, design. But whatever. All right. Throwing in a couple of spotlights to highlight the fact that whoever lives here works in the entertainment industry, and I use these spotlights, which are actually a reward. I'm not so sure what career. I think it's probably from the comedian. I'm not sure though. Probably from the comedian. I'm not sure. But yeah, it has like 3 colors that it, projects on the wall. Has like green, red, and blue. Also, by the way, I did use a little bit of Move Objects cheat here, so if you guys download this lot for yourselves, please make sure to type in the bb.moveobjects cheat, so that none of the items will disappear. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed to still see some of the items get deleted, because I believe that in the recent update that EA gave us, they said that the items that require like a specific level to be placed will no longer be deleted. So it means that if you use the Move Objects cheat and you use it on an item that usually is supposed to be deleted, then that item will no longer be deleted if you install the patch. But I just patched my game, and it just does not work. So yeah, to be safe, please turn on the Move Objects cheat. And definitely my favorite bathroom as well for the house is the master bathroom. I love that one corner hot bathtub, I guess. Corner bathtub. Okay, let's roll with that. I love that one corner bathtub that came with, I don't know what it came with, probably even base game, or like, I don't know, an early expansion pack. But I love that little nook where it has like the shelves and the candles and the soap and that nice little spotlight, because I felt like it could get a little bit chilly, especially if you're in the bath and you have the air conditioning turned on. It can get a little bit chilly, so having a spotlight is great to kind of keep that warmth and all that good stuff. Plus, of course, we have some floor-to-ceiling windows so that whoever is using these rooms can really admire the beautiful vistas of Newcrest. And just to give them a little bit of privacy, I gave them some curtains, which I actually really like. You guys will definitely be seeing more curtains from me in the future because I grown to like them in this build. So you guys can see that at night, actually, the lighting is very diverse. So there's some corners where it's really dark, and there's some corners where it's really bright. And I think it's really like, it gives the space a lot of dimension to it, which is really interesting because I feel like it makes it look like a more 3-dimensional space. The rooftop of this house actually has a lot of space as well. So I went ahead and actually placed in like a nice little meditation area. My voice just cracked. So maybe if the husband is working, the wife, she can, work out a little bit and relax over here on top. Used some candles to light up the space, and over here I used some hedges actually to cover that bare white wall from the neighbors, because immediately facing that wall there are floor-to-ceiling windows. So just to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, I threw in some nice little hedge plants over there and all that good stuff. And since I used a lot of the hedges, I went ahead and also distributed them all around the house's empty spaces. One thing that's really interesting with this build, actually, number 2, which makes it different from number 1, is that the landscaping actually on both homes are different. You guys will see that the landscaping for the house that we're working on that can be occupied, it's very Hollywood, where it's like very, I don't know what to call it. It's very like, okay, so basically the landscaping that we have for the house that we can occupy, I'd like to think of it as very Hollywood, very California, very like modern, urban, and things like that. And then the landscaping that we have for the neighbors, I'd like to think of it as a little bit more Arizona, where it's kind of like natural and vegetation and a little bit deserty and stuff like that. I don't know, but I feel like having a duality in the landscaping really, once again, brings out a lot of personality to whoever lives in both homes. And since we see the landscaping actually in the neighbor's house, I feel like that's going to give you guys a little bit of an idea as who lives there next door, which is possible or not possible depending on you guys, because you guys can just lock the door and nobody will enter the house anyway. And of course, a nice little seating area here with a nice little barbecue space to kind of have a little bit more activity over here on the outside. And I think that is pretty much it for the speed build part of this video. Let's go ahead and cut into the screenshots so you guys can see all 3 levels of this home. Really proud of the graphic and boldness of this build. I think the exterior looks great, especially if you put it next to each other as a row apartment, and also the interiors are just amazing. I love it. I want it for myself, and I hope you guys had fun watching and also listening to my 30-minute long commentary as well. So anyway, that is going to be it for the speed build part of this video. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys had fun watching this video, because it really does help out the channel a lot, okay? You all have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!